Welcome to my channel, where your adventure into the future starts right now. Step into a vibrant universe filled with groundbreaking technology, breathtaking alien landscapes, and exhilarating sci-fi narratives that challenge your imagination. From daring explorations of distant galaxies to haunting journeys through dystopian societies, we uncover the most captivating stories and innovative ideas that will shape the world of tomorrow. Subscribe today and join us on an incredible intergalactic voyage that promises to inspire and thrill. The cosmos stretched out like an infinite expanse, a dark sea dotted with countless stars and swirling nebulas. Aboard the starship Exodus, Captain Mara Vance stood at the helm, her fingers lightly grazing the controls as the ship cruised smoothly through the empty void. It was just another night in the long journey across the galaxy, the hum of the engine and the soft chime of the star maps setting the tone for a relatively uneventful passage. The Exodus, a sleek vessel with reinforced hulls and advanced weaponry, had seen countless missions, smuggling runs, and interstellar encounters. Yet, despite its advanced technology, Mara had learned over time that even the most seasoned captains could never predict when trouble would come knocking. The crew of the Exodus was a varied lot, a mixture of mercenaries, outcasts, and skilled specialists who operated under Mara's leadership, each with their own secrets and pasts. The ship was more than just a vessel, it was their home, their last refuge in the vast and unpredictable galaxy. Despite the occasional tension that arose among the crew members, there was a certain unspoken bond between them, forged by the harsh realities of space. But for now, the calm was palpable, a brief respite from the constant whirlwind of survival in the galactic underworld. Unbeknownst to the crew, however, their peaceful passage was about to come to an end. A blip appeared on the starboard scanner, a small, fast-moving object, its irregular movement catching the attention of Mara's second-in-command, Lieutenant Reich. A tall, lean man with short-cropped black hair and a sharp, calculating gaze, Reich wasn't the kind to make assumptions. He quietly tapped the console, narrowing his eyes at the data. He knew the routine well. Often, stray space debris or cargo vessels would drift across their path, but there was something about this anomaly that didn't sit right. "Captain," Reich called out, his voice steady but carrying a hint of caution. "We've got something. Unidentified vessel. It's moving too quickly, and its trajectory doesn't match any civilian ship patterns. Should I hail them?" Mara turned to him, arching an eyebrow. "Could be a rogue merchant or some scavengers. They're known to take unusual routes." "Possibly," Reich said, his voice tinged with doubt, "but something's off. The ship's emissions are wrong. It doesn't match any standard civilian signatures." Mara nodded. "Keep it on screen. We'll make contact." The scanners zoomed in, and the screen revealed a dark, jagged shape, a ship that looked more like a floating fortress than a traditional vessel. Its design was unlike anything the Exodus had encountered before, heavily armored, with what appeared to be oversized guns mounted along its hull and a strange set of insignia painted in red across its battered surface. As the object drew nearer, the crew began to prepare for a possible conflict, though none of them could have predicted the scale of what was to come. The enemy vessel suddenly shifted its trajectory, cutting across the Exodus's path in a manner that suggested intentional aggression. Mara's heart skipped a beat, a knot of tension growing in her stomach. "Weapons are hot," Reich said. He wasn't asking permission, he was stating a fact. The Exodus had automatic defense systems ready to fire, but Reich's instincts were telling him to be prepared for something bigger. Mara's hand hovered over the console, considering their options. "Hail them," she commanded. The comms crackled to life, a distorted voice seeping through the static. "This is Captain Drex of the Sable Vengeance. You are trespassing in restricted space. Prepare to be boarded." The voice was low and menacing, with a hint of sadistic pleasure lurking beneath the calm tone. The ship's name alone sent a chill down Mara's spine. The Sable Vengeance was infamous, a pirate ship that had been a ghost story in every corner of the galaxy. Known for attacking and plundering unsuspecting vessels, it was rumored that its crew was made up of ruthless outlaws, alien mercenaries, and killers from across the universe. They were known to have no code, no morality, just an unrelenting lust for power and resources. And now, they had set their sights on the Exodus. "I don't think they're here for a friendly chat," Reich muttered under his breath. "Noted," Mara replied, her voice calm despite the rising tension. "Prepare for evasive maneuvers." The Exodus immediately veered to the left, the engines roaring to life as the ship banked sharply to avoid the looming pirate ship. The Sable Vengeance wasn't one to be deterred, though. Within seconds, a hail of firepower shot across the space between the two ships. Mara gritted her teeth, hearing the explosion of the shields but feeling no physical impact. The Exodus's reinforced hull had held, but just barely. "Target their weapon systems," she barked. "Firing," Reich replied. The Exodus's weapon systems roared to life, sending volleys of laser fire toward the pirate vessel. But the Sable Vengeance was fast, almost too fast. It evaded the shots, performing tight, rapid turns that suggested a skilled pilot or something more. "Shields holding at 80%, Reich reported. "But we can't keep this up forever." "Brace for impact," Mara ordered, her fingers dancing over the controls, guiding the ship through a complex evasive pattern. She knew the only way out of this alive was to outmaneuver them, but the Exodus was not built for high-speed combat. The pirates, on the other hand, were built for one thing: destruction. The Sable Vengeance unleashed another barrage, and this time, the Exodus wasn't fast enough. The ship shuddered as a beam tore through the lower hull, sparks flying as a section of the deck ruptured. The lights flickered as alarms blared throughout the vessel. The crew scrambled to their posts, but the damage was severe. "We've lost auxiliary power in Section 5, Reich reported, his voice laced with urgency. "We've got fires on deck." "Seal the compartments and reroute power to engines," Mara commanded. "We're not done yet." But as she glanced at the pirate vessel on the view screen, she could see something that sent a wave of dread through her. The Sable Vengeance was preparing for the next stage of their assault. "Boarding," Reich said quietly. It wasn't a question. It was a certainty. Mara's heart raced. The pirates didn't just destroy ships, they raided, plundered, and captured survivors for ransom or worse. There was no negotiating with them. Not now. The Sable Vengeance's boarding craft detached, small, sleek pods that shot toward the Exodus with terrifying speed. They locked onto the hull with magnetic clamps, and before Mara could even react, the pirates were already making their way inside. "Security teams to the airlocks," Mara shouted. "Ready the weapons." The crew rushed into position, gripping blasters and energy rifles as they prepared for the oncoming attack. On the other side of the airlock, the pirates were breaking through, and the sound of metal scraping against metal echoed in the hallways. Mara had been in countless firefights, but this felt different. This wasn't just a routine raid, this was personal. The Sable Vengeance wasn't interested in negotiations, and the pirates weren't just after treasure, they were after something else. The first of the invaders breached the airlock, clad in black armored suits with glowing red visors. They stormed in, weapons raised, but the Exodus crew was ready. Blaster fire erupted as the two sides clashed, the pirates advancing with brutal efficiency. The corridors became a battleground, flashes of energy lighting up the narrow passageways. Mara fought alongside her crew, taking down pirates with swift, practiced shots. But the numbers were overwhelming. More pirate pods continued to latch onto the hull, sending wave after wave of armed assailants to board the Exodus. The crew was outnumbered, but they fought fiercely, pushing back with everything they had. In the midst of the chaos, Mara's communicator crackled to life. It was Reich, his voice strained but urgent. "Captain, we've got a situation. The pirates, they're after the cargo. They're looking for something specific." "What?" Mara asked, confused. "We don't know yet, but they're targeting a specific compartment in the hold. We've locked it down, but I think they know something we don't." Mara's mind raced. What was so valuable to them? What could the pirates possibly want? And why were they so focused on this particular cargo hold? The mystery only deepened as the battle raged on. Determined to find answers, Mara moved quickly through the ship, heading toward the cargo hold. She didn't know what she would find, but she had to know what the pirates were after. Every step was a risk, every corner a potential trap set by the invaders, but Mara wasn't going to let the Exodus fall without a fight. As she reached the cargo hold, the air grew heavy with tension. The sounds of battle were muffled now, but the threat was still very much alive. She entered the room cautiously, her hand gripping the hilt of her sidearm. And there, amidst crates of supplies and equipment, she saw it, a large, metallic container, locked and secured with multiple codes. It was the center of the pirates' obsession. And as Mara approached, she realized something: it wasn't just any container. It was a containment unit, a highly advanced one, designed to hold something alive. Mara's blood ran cold. Whatever the pirates were after, it wasn't just gold or technology, it was something far more dangerous. Something that could change the course of the entire galaxy. Before she could investigate further, the door behind her slammed open, and a voice boomed from the darkness. "Step away from the container, Captain Vance." Mara turned, her hand instinctively reaching for her weapon, but it was too late. From the shadows emerged Captain Drex, tall, hulking, and cloaked in the armor of the pirate leader. His red visor gleamed menacingly, and in his hand, he held a blaster aimed directly at her. The fight was far from over, but Mara realized that she was no longer just defending the Exodus, she was fighting to protect the galaxy from whatever nightmare lay inside that containment unit.